Oya, Tsukuya Nade. This is HK7335, bringing you another video, and this time we are slicing the Berserker Helmet, which is my new helmet, just released a few days ago, and we're going to slice it in Orca Slicer. So the whole concept of this video is to show you some strategies on how to slice a full-size helmet on a 300 plus millimeter FDM style printer. That's a filament printer. This is not going to be about cutting your model up into smaller pieces for smaller printers. That will be another video. And this video assumes that you have functional profiles for your particular printer. I happen to be using an Elegoo Neptune 4 Plus, so my profiles are set up for that. However, the process of slicing will be basically the same for each type of printer out there that you would be using to print this helmet, even the smaller ones, except that you'll be cutting it into smaller pieces. So here we go. We've gone ahead and loaded in our helmet model, and this is the orientation that it comes in natively. It will fit on the bed like this, and you could absolutely print it in this orientation if you wanted to. This is actually how I used to print my helmets when I printed them. They had custom supports, and this is the orientation that I used. However, I'm using a new orientation now where I like to rotate the helmet back, and the reason I like to do that is so that the eye line, the brow basically, is sitting at a bit of an angle. I'm going to see if I can go another 5 degrees here. I think that would be workable. Yeah, this means this is not going to need a lot of supports, and it's going to probably print really good. And the reason why we really want to boost that on this particular helmet is because this area is very thick. So if we have to put a lot of supports in here, even with an interface layer, it's less than ideal. So we do have an issue now though, because we have rotated the helmet back. We are moving outside the boundaries of the print plate. Now if you're printing on a large format printer like a Neptune 4 Max or an Anycubic Cobra Max or a Cobra Max 2, you're not going to have this issue. You could pretty much just tilt the helmet back as we've got it now, and you're good to go. You're ready to do supports. So, but as you can see, I'm getting this error message here in Orca, and that's not good. So I'm going to rotate the helmet 45 degrees. I believe that's 315, yeah. So that's 45 degree orientation on the bed. That should print just fine. Now we're ready to do supports. So to do that, we'll go up here to this menu and we have support painting. This is a wonderful tool that I have shown before. This is also available in Prusa Slicer. I do not know if this is available in Cura as of the time of this video. The last time I heard, though, there wasn't anything like this in Cura. I highly recommend Orca Slicer. I like Prusa Slicer too, but I think Orca Slicer is just a little bit better. However, they are very similar, and you could actually use both with no problem. So I am dragging the Highlight Overhangs slider out, and what I want this to do is paint the areas red where I know I'm absolutely going to need supports. I don't know if I'm going to need them. Definitely feel like I'm going to need them on that interior lip, so we're going to drag this out just a little bit more, and you'll see how this works as we go. Alright, so that's probably overkill, but what's nice is that we can now use the paint bucket tool to just go in and target the areas that we want. And I want this bottom edge here. I do think I'm going to need some supports right here. Well, I don't know, maybe. No, I think that'll print just fine. So I don't think I need them there. I definitely don't need them here. I don't think I need them anywhere in here, because all this stuff is sitting at an angle. That's covered. I do believe I will need some back here. So I'm going to hit those, I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to hit this. And let's see here. Now we've got the eye line. The big question is, what do we need to hit on this? And I am feeling like the most interior section right here is what I need to get. Once we're past this, this will be okay because this will support this. So we really just need this edge here. And that's going all the way across. I don't know if we actually need that much, but I think I'm going to go ahead and keep it as it is. We're still very light on supports here, so I'm not too worried about too much time to print this or anything. Obviously, I would rather have it take a little longer to print and come out perfect than print really fast and have to do a lot of work on the back end manually myself with sandpaper and fillers and all that stuff. So I'd rather have the printer do most of the work so I have less work to do on the back end. Alright, let's go ahead and slice this and see what we got. Just to reiterate, we've gone through and we have painted all the overhang sections that we felt needed supports. They're now currently showing up in green. So everywhere that's green, we're going to get some supports. Anything else is not going to get supports. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and slice the plate. And this will just take a moment. And we're coming up on the final moments of this slice. These helmets will take a little bit longer to slice because the mesh is quite dense. You may see a message about simplifying the model. I would not recommend doing that. We might do that though at some point just to see kind of what it does. It's going to use something called a decimate function where it will go in and try to reduce the number of faces. Unfortunately, it's going to compromise the quality of the surface of the helmet and you'll end up with a print that is not nearly as nice as what it could be. Alright, here's our slice. As you can see, our supports aren't terrible. Okay, quick note, you do not need supports in the dome if you have good bridging settings. If your print settings are good, you will be fine. You may experience a small amount of drooping in this area, but you may not. The last time I printed a helmet in this configuration, the drooping was almost non-existent. I was really impressed at the quality of the bridging that I got in this upper dome area. So you should experience the same. A program like Cura will try to put supports in here and you'll have to go in and use a support blocker. But as you can see, it was very easy for us to just put supports where we want them and not anywhere else. So no blockers are required. And we are ready now to print this. We're ready to send this helmet to the printer. So there you go. That is the Berserker Helmet sliced in Orca Slicer. We are using snug supports, just so you can see. Go to support, and I am using snug, and my first layer density is at 90%. I am also using a raft. I feel a raft gives me a little bit of extra adhesion to the bed, because as the helmet grows, it becomes heavier, and so the kinetic forces on it as it moves back and forth while it's printing are going to increase. So having that extra bit of adhesion to the bed in the form of a raft, I figure is very helpful, and so far it's worked out really well. So I highly recommend using a raft if you can. Alright, well that's it. That is the Berserker Helmet sliced in Orca Slicer. The experience will be very similar in Prusa Slicer as they are related programs. They kind of have the same genetics. So your experience in Prusa will be very similar. Your functionality and technique will be very similar in Prusa. That's it for this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, drop me a comment, and I will do my best to answer. And so until next time, this is HK7335 saying au revoir, and I will see you in the next video.